All right, we're getting close to the end. We're drafting a counter argument, and this is a new step. We've not learned this before because counter arguments aren't included in persuasion. Persuasion is all about one sidedness and appealing to the audience's emotions and using rhetorical choices. Arguments are all about being balanced and fair and letting evidence speak for itself. So we include counter arguments to balance out our arguments. All right, so what are they? Counter arguments are the opposing side, right? It's the opposite of your argument. So let's just say I'm arguing that teachers should not assign homework. The counter argument would be that it's actually necessary for teachers to assign homework, and then there would be like a reason for that. Okay. We need to make sure that we are using evidence to explain why the counter argument is invalid. So the counter argument is anticipating what we think our reader is going to say to disagree with us, and then it's providing the most convincing piece of evidence to actually prove them wrong, right? This is where you show a demonstration of consideration for your audience, right? So thinking about, all right, if I'm going to argue that teachers shouldn't assign homework, who's going to be my number one critic? Teachers, right? Or maybe parents, but some sort of adult, right? They might say, yeah, actually, it's necessary to assign homework so that students can practice their learning and learn even deeper. And so you're going to anticipate that that is exactly what your audience would say. And so then you're going to be ready to go with a strong piece of evidence to suggest that, yeah, that might be true, but it's not a good enough reason, right? So it shows that you've considered all sides of the argument and that you are considering your audience. All of those things are important in argument, okay? We need proof that the counter argument is wrong or invalid. We need to use evidence to refute counter arguments. Refute just means like disagree with. We're going to include some analysis, and we're kind of looking for like a yes, but. So it's okay to say, yeah, that's true, but it's not good enough of a reason to agree with that or something like that. So you can agree that, yep, the counter argument is indeed valid, but you can still argue that, yeah, but my side is the most valid. Okay. At the end of the day, remember, you still want your audience to side with you. You don't want your counter argument to be so convincing that your audience is kind of like, well, I'm not believing your argument. I'm on the counter argument side. Okay, we've got some handy dandy sentence starters to kind of get that going, and I'll show you how those sentence starters fit in with the counterclaim outline. So you kind of like choose one from each category, the counterclaim, rebuttal, and analysis, and I'll show you kind of how that fits in with here. So your topic sentence is kind of going to be like your counterclaim. So you might pick like, it is often thought that homework helps students learn, and then we go into that, introduce that rebuttal. And so we might say like, this view sounds convincing at first, but, and then that's where our quote would come in, right? Some sort of information to negate the fact that homework is actually necessary. And then we go into our, we go into our regular IKEA kind of, so we explain the evidence and kind of offer some interpretation, and then we analyze. So we could say like ultimately or therefore as a result, something like that, to really just say, I see your point. It's actually not true, and so therefore this is the best solution, or whatever that might look like for you. Okay, and then we add a transition to our conclusion paragraph because we're almost done.